Hey everybody, I apologize here. I just realized I have a meeting tomorrow morning. It ends at 9:30 and it's in Norman, so hopefully I'll be able to make it before your class starts. But just in case, I really loved your enthusiasm yesterday. Well, today. You'll be watching this as if it was yesterday. Again, if you're new to the classroom today, I am Dr. Marshall. I'm part of the OU tutoring team, and I'm just here to help your new classroom procedures get in place and to help your teacher get ready to work with you on some math and some coding. So as you can see on your boards, right, there should be some instructions on the right about some norms and procedures we're going to follow. And then on the left, it should talk about the order of the classroom. So first, you should be doing your warm-up or bell ringer. Okay, and it's right here in this video as well, just in case they're not able to get that going for you. And so I wanted to make sure that it was here. So what I want you to do is to take 2 minutes to look at the image, okay? And what do you notice or wonder? So what do you see? What do you think is going on? What do you think might be happening next? Okay, and I'll give you about 2 minutes, even though I don't have a timer right now. Oh, I do. Okay, you have about 1 minute left to think about what you notice or wonder about that image. All right, so that's our timer. So what I want you to do now is I want you to share out with your class. So if the teacher in the room can pause the video, you're going to share out what do you notice and wonder. Remember, they can be straightforward, obvious things. They could be math-related things. They could be things based on a hungry tummy. Whatever you notice or wonder about the image in the screen. And again, pause me here, okay? I don't want the video to be too long, so you pause me and then continue back up. All right. So you have paused me, and now I need this to go back to the pen so I can click. All right, so yesterday we watched a video from this company that's called Bootstrap Algebra, where they were talking about folks in coding and what they looked like, a little bit about what they did, but you guys kind of thought about things and you noticed and wonder. So if one of you would like to share out, who do you remember from yesterday that was interested in coding at a young age? And do you remember their name by any chance? So pause here. Okay. You're going to pause, and I want the teacher into the room to record that. So if I'm not in the room, I expect to see a little list of people or thoughts from that video from yesterday of who you kind of remember. And don't forget, we did that little video, the clicking on the person too. So pause me, and I want you to talk about that, and then I will see it when I walk in the room. All right. So if you've restarted me, okay. So before I teach you about coding, I have to use some math to teach you the process of coding. Okay. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but just go with me. All right. So we have to think about order of operations and the order in which you do basic skills. So if you think about getting ready for school, okay, would it matter what you did first? Do you need to put your socks on before your shoes, your shirt before your pants? Okay. Sometimes order matters, right? I could put my top on before I put my bottoms on, but when it comes to socks, I would have to have the socks on before my shoes, okay? Because it just wouldn't work right. So sometimes we need multiple expressions in math and the order matters, okay? So some of you probably wondered, like, why did your teacher teach you PEMDAS or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally? The thing is about math, a lot of things happen out of necessity. So when people ever went to the moon or wanted to even calculate going to the moon, they started talking about exponential things because that was some great distance that at the time couldn't be measured, but you wanted to talk about it. Okay, so they talk about exponential forms. When you have PEMDAS, mostly it's that people needed to agree on the same rules so that as they worked together and communicated together, they all had the same set of rules to follow, and everything works out, and theories have been developed from there. But it really was simply they had to have the same kind of thoughts and framework to get work done. Okay, so instead of using a rule, okay, I want you to start by diagramming this math. So what would this look like to you? Okay, what would you do first? So what operation would you do first? Don't actually do it, okay? But I want you to think about what operation you would do first. You should have some worksheets that possibly have like a blank backside. So if you want to write on the back, okay, you can pause me again, pause me, and think about what you would do first. And don't tell your neighbors, okay? Don't give your answers away. But what would you do first? And pause me. I went too far. Apologize. There we go. All right. So, what would we do first? Okay. What did your teachers tell you to do first? Well, most of you probably have selected adding. And again, I'm not there right now, so this will look a little bit different if I show up halfway through. You would do the 1 plus 2, so addition. And then most of you said to do what next? Probably multiply then. Okay. So you probably said, oh, this 1 plus 2, this addition becomes a 3. A 3. And then we're going to times it by the 2. And what is 2 times 3? I hope all of you are saying out loud 6. Okay. Then you would do the division. So first was add. Sorry, I don't have like a fancy pen to do this. I have to do this with my mouse. Okay. Then multiply or times. I'm not going to try to write out that word. And then you would do a division. Okay. So you guys all know those processes and procedures. All right. Sorry, I had to pause the video for a second there. My family came in for the evening. All right. So clear that screen. And we're going to click to the next slide. So what I'm going to teach you about today is the things that are called circles of evaluation. Circles of evaluation, you can think about like parentheses and things, but it's a way to make sense of the information in a way that will move us towards coding. Because in coding, you have to say specific operations. You have to give an inputs and outputs. Okay, you have to name the functions of what you're talking about. And so we need to go over this and use this with some numbers before we get into coding, but that will come. We're going to do some shapes. Okay. So the rules for doing circles of evaluation is that every circle must have one and only one function written at the top. Okay. So the function is this. And what does this symbol represent? Go ahead and shout it out. Pretend I'm there. All right. So yes, that's division. Okay. And this is the function name. Okay. Function name is division. Then the inputs to the function are written from left to right in the middle of the circle. Okay. All right. So then rule 2, okay, is that the inputs of the function are written from left to right. I apologize. I had to pause again. And then circles can contain other circles. So what you'll see is one circle inside of another, as we get more complicated. But this here says my function name again is what? It's division. Okay. And my inputs are 6 and 3. So what this might look like to you normally is 6 divided by 3. Okay, so again, it's 6 divided by 3, or some of you might say it's like 6. By the end of this, my handwriting is going to be phenomenal. All right, so here we go. You ready? I need to clear the screen. Apologize, I'm learning clear screen. Back mouse. Okay. Okay, so if we want to use multiple functions, we can talk about circles of evaluations for those as well. So remember, you have to have a circle, okay? There can only be one function in a circle, and your your inputs need to go from left to right, okay? So what do you want to do first? Based on what I just showed you for the very first time, what would you want to do first? Okay, you're thinking about that, so I'll pause. All right, so if you guys are normally used to working from left to right, you might have an answer that's different than what I'm about to think you might say. Okay, so because there's parentheses, oftentimes you say, well, I should do the parentheses first. Okay, so that's real easy. So personally, I draw my circle first. This might be a little bit of an issue. There we go. All right, and then I write my function. So what is my function's name? Think about the stuff we just did. What is my function's name? All right, hopefully you guys just said the plus sign out loud or to yourself. So my operation is the plus sign, but we're going to call it the function because the function just tells us what we're going to do. Okay? And what needs to be in there? Okay? Is it supposed to be this? I'm hoping that you guys are saying, no, 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 she's wrong. Okay? Okay, what should it be instead? Okay, it should be the circle. Right? What's my function's name? My function's name is plus or addition. Okay? And then I need to have a 1 over here and a 2 over here. Okay? I don't mind that you already know that 1 plus 2 is 3 and you're like, lady, you're crazy. 1 plus 2 is 3. What I care about is that you know the function name and the inputs. Input 1 first, input 2 second. Okay? So then how do we do with this? Okay? What's my other function name? Okay? This function name is division. Okay? But if this happens here, how do you think we write this? Okay, you're right, a big circle that I didn't account for when I just drew this. Let me clear the screen. I'll do this real quick. Apologize for the delay. 1 and space and a 2. Okay. And then, okay, we need to have another circle evaluation that has division. I'm going to put my division like this. And just know that that's division. Okay. And I draw a line. Now, is my 6 going to be on the left of the circle or the right of the circle? Hopefully you're saying 6 because we do have to work from left to right. So we have 6 right there. Ooh, sorry. It's a circle. Again, function name was division. Function name was plus or add. Okay? Kind of sort of makes sense? All right. So this is exactly what we just did. All right. This is just a nicer typed up version of it. Okay. It shows me that we have a function named division. We have an input of 6. We have a function named addition, inputs of 1 and 2. So then I want you to tell me, okay, what would a circle of evaluation look like for this? Okay. I would urge you to pause me for a second so that people can think about it. All right. Hopefully the teacher's wandering the room or I am wandering the room. All right. And this is what we see, right? I have a circle. What's my function name? Yep, it's times or multiply. Yep, the 5 goes on the left and the 6 goes on the right. Now, just for fun, can you tell me what 5 times 6 is? Right, 30. But I care about the operation that you can write a function. Okay? So now when we go to the next slide, Okay, there it is, typed up nice and neat. Yours is probably never going to look like that because mine don't. But there's your function. Okay, now can you guys do this one? Okay, think about this circle of evaluation. And I would say pause this video. Okay, so folks can work it out on their own. That is a question mark at the end. It's just the way that looks. Okay, but pause my video and then we'll come back to it. All right, so hopefully this is what you have written down. Okay, you have the function multiplication. Okay, and notice that the 6 is over here on the right because the 6 was on the right. Okay, and you have a function named subtraction. Any questions? That's my timer. All right, so now I want you to work on this worksheet. Okay, you should have it printed out. Okay, ignore the code column for now, but you're going to work on this worksheet right here. Screencastify is recording in the background tab. I apologize, it's not going to pop up. I wonder if I can switch the tabs. Let me see if I can. Nope, I cannot switch your tabs. All right, you're going to have to trust me. It looks like a column that says arithmetic. The first one is parentheses with 3 times x, then minus parentheses